So the Nerf bars on both sides of the Toigo Wraith, on both sides of the Stealth, are created, we call them the Axis Nerf bars. These Nerf bars have compound bends. These Nerf bars prevent cars from getting inside the cage, which obviously we don't want. Safety is the first thing that we want to care about. And so I see a lot of Nerf bars that are just a piece of tube that comes up on a flat other tube. And personally, I've seen them collapse. I've seen kids get hurt. I would never run them. And so that's why I redesigned the Toigo Nerf bar to be the Axis Nerf bar that does not allow cars into the cage. It's a very strong design. You won't see another one quite like this anywhere on the planet. So with these Nerf bars, one of the things you might notice right away is that they move. Okay? Both sides, and we'll show the other side in a second, wobble just like this. This is intentional. These Nerf bars are also swedged. So you'll notice this car is completely 1-inch tube all the way around. The rear bumper, the front bumper, and the Nerf bars are 1-inch tube. Well, the way that we make that work is both on the front and the rear of this Nerf bar, the way that it is installed into the Nerf bar studs of the car, you'll notice that one, we have a bolt with a washer on the bottom and a bolt and a nut with a washer on the top is how it's installed in the rear. On the front of the car, we have the same setup. This is a little bit more important, though, than what I just showed you because the washers that are here, if you can see these washers, there's a washer on each side. Those washers are intended to allow this receiver to slide back and forth as the car needs to move and transfer weight. This receiver can slide. You do not want to tighten these down so that receiver cannot slide. That's why there's a lock nut here. Tighten these lock nuts down on these washers just enough that it still allows that receiver to slide in the slot that is there and created for it. So we'll pull this all the way off so we can take this Nerf bar off and I can show you exactly what's going on here. All of these are also pre-drilled. Everything on the Toigo car, no matter what car you have, is going to be pre-drilled. You don't have to drill any of these holes. I see a lot of cars where you have to drill holes. That's not how this car is built. This car has all laser drilled holes everywhere on this car. So you'll notice that when I pull this out of here, the tubing is swedged. Okay, that's a swedge. There's a swedge on the front. And if we look at the rear of the car, there's a swedge here as well. These holes are also slotted for easy installation. This also helps prevent binding. If this Nerf bar is shoved in here and tightened down to the point that it can't move at all, that is going to bind this go-kart. It's not going to allow it to transfer weight from the left rear to the right front, from the left rear to the left front, to the right rear. It's going to bind. That goes the same for the right side Nerf bar as well. You want to make sure that these are free. Every time you come off the racetrack, give it one of these. Make sure those Nerf bars can jiggle. That's allowing the little bit of movement that needs to take place here to happen and allow weight to transfer. Reassembly is super easy. We just go and put the bolts back in the pre-designed laser cut holes on the front and on the rear of this car, and it's reinstalled. If we look at the other side of the car, we have the same setup. Obviously, a slightly different Nerf bar based on this side of the car needing a longer run to get into the chassis, but we have the same safe design of the Axis Nerf bar. On the front, we have the same bolt through the receiver and the nub, which is loose enough that allows it to function and move so it can transfer weight, allows the cage to float the way that's intended so the chassis can do its job. On the rear, we have the same design as on the other side. And once again, I can easily jiggle this Nerf bar. That's going to allow this chassis to move and create no bind in the chassis.